Hey everyone, Pat Mesiti here, and thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to look at some of the complete financial hypocrisy of the TEALs, who are the climate change crusaders. Let me tell you, these people, what they want to do is make sure that they're making money, but you cannot make money. And the hypocrisy of these people boggles the mind. On top of that, I want to talk to you about Albanese bringing in ShAQ. I mean, what in the world? And thirdly, an incredible video, dissertation, speech, whatever, by Russell Brand, who's brilliant, by the way, who exposes basically now over 16 stores in the USA that, guess what? They scan your hand. And, you know, I can recall when this was, and still is, called a conspiracy theory. But you know what's amazing to me, folks, is this is right in front of their eyes. You see, there is none so blind as he or she that will not see. And I believe many people have been so duped, so hypnotized, so coerced, so basically coerced and had their minds under control of some hypnotic spell. How they can't see this is beyond me. It is beyond me. Let's get on to our first item. Climate crusading North Sydney TEAL independent MP Kylie Tink, remember that name, holds shares in oil and gas producers and refiners, as well as in one of the world's largest toll road operators, according to her statement of interest filed with Parliament. However, in response to the questions put to her by the Daily Telegraph, she basically says, that she only bought the shares to engage in shareholder activism. What a crock of bull dust. According to papers filed by Mesiti last week, her personal investment portfolio includes shares in Beach Energy Limited, Viva Energy Group Limited, and Transurban Group. According to the company's website, Beach Energy supplies approximately 12% of the gas on the east coast of Australia and is aiming to grow this to 16%. Viva Energy operates a Geelong refinery in Victoria and two of the remaining oil fineries in Australia. Transurban, meanwhile, is a major operator in toll roads and last year collected more than 600 million in revenue from Sydney drivers that don't drive all electric cars. Most of them operating petroleum and diesel. Honestly, can you believe this stuff? If it wasn't so real, it would be beyond a joke. You see, these elites or deletes, they are on an agenda. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. They want a two-tiered class society, just like Palachuk up here in Queensland does, where she says, right, you're not a jab teacher, you're going to have to take a pay cut. Of course, that's for the science. How the heck do these people sleep at night? How do they sleep at night knowing that their financial investments are exposed? Now, this lady, Tink, her Sydney campaign was backed by a group calling itself North Sydney Independent, which announced Monday that it's seeking to field a candidate to run against Corrections Minister Anthony Roberts in his seat at Lane Cove. If you follow the money, you follow the hypocrisy. It is ridiculous. And I want to get to money later before the end of this broadcast. And then, of course, we got our Prime Minister, the globe-trotting celebrity enamored Mr. Albanese. Why would you bring an African American, and I'll get to that in a minute, to promote your voice agenda? Firstly, let me say this for those of you that have the blinkers on. African Americans were not the owners of the land in America. The American Indians were. Not these Indians with the dot, these Indians. Why didn't Albanese bring one? I mean, He'd been better off bringing Pocahontas on. And why are we bringing, and by the way, I think ShAQ's a great guy, smart businessman, great sportsman. Why are we bringing a African American who promotes betting as if our Indigenous and our Australian people don't have enough problems with struggling financially that we need someone who promotes a betting app for you to lose it, because they build those betting apps for you to get wealth. And here's the thing, one of the things that really gets me. People would rather go bet on a horse, bet on a football, than get off their rusty dufty and get an education on how to earn money. What is Albanese doing? I'll tell you what he's doing. He's appealing to the lowest common denominator. Go around and look at all the suburbs where you see pensioners every single day putting their hard-earned pension in a slot machine at these sports clubs. That's what Albo's doing. He's appealing to a low socioeconomic group of people and also to a celebrity enamored people. What has an African American? Actually, they're not even Africans. I don't even know why I'm saying that. They wouldn't know Africa. They wouldn't survive in Africa. Seriously. And that's not a racial statement. Some of these celebrities worth billions of dollars, they get up there and they beat their chest. But why would you do that? Makes no sense at all. And you know why it makes no sense? Because it plainly doesn't. Albanese, enamored with some celebrity, and by the way, like me, I mean, seriously, you stand against your ShAQ, you're going to look like a midget. But why would you do that? What relevance does a multi-squillionaire sportsman, businessman, African American, and a man that promotes betting apps got to do with our Indigenous community? Nothing. Zero. Zip. But it makes a great photo op, doesn't it? Makes great television stuff, doesn't it? Our Indigenous people have got enough problems with alcohol and gambling, as do every other person in this country. As I said, he obviously has no clue. No clue. And let me just remind you, the African Americans were not the so-called custodians of the land. My third one that I want to speak about today is Russell Brand, who I think is absolutely brilliant. Right now in the United States of America, Russell Brand in one of his talks, and I'm going to have one of my team post the link in here, basically exposed how I think there's something like 16 Whole Food stores in the United States of America. You place your credit card there, and then you put your hand on under this whatever it is, and they read your biometrics of your hand so that you can go back and buy from those stores without ever having to bring your credit card again. And Russell even mentions in this the mark of the beast. Let me tell you, we are moving closer and closer and closer. I said last week on my rant, and those of you that didn't see that rant, where I exposed the World Economic Forum right here on this platform and their agenda, plain on in view for everyone on their own website, about microchipping your children. The world has gone nuts. And let me tell you what it's scared of. People in their right minds. One day, Jesus cast a demon out of a man who used to cut himself and slash himself. And the people weren't afraid of him at that point. But when he was sitting there clothed and in his right mind, it says that they were greatly afraid. You see, those of you out there, and I want to encourage many of you out there that are standing up for freedom that can see this, don't stop ringing the bell. Don't stop ringing the bell. The reason why I put these rants on here is because I want people to be aware. This TEAL that did this, what is she thinking? They're hypocrites. Hypocrites. Backed by a mining person. Honestly. What I find as well is up here in Queensland, they have someone like a Clive Palmer who's employed over 60,000 people, and they don't even bring him on to help in discussions on creating jobs. And that's not a pro thing of Clive. I'm just saying a man that employs over 60,000 people has got something to say about jobs and the economy. But sadly, they're blinded by their own leftist climate change delete agenda. I actually pray that every single MP in Parliament has their finances subject to investigation. Now, folks, we've got our rallies coming up. Rallies coming up starting the 18th of September in Bow Desert. Then we're going out to Toowoomba. Then, of course, going out to Hervey Bay, Maryborough area, Perth on the first weekend of December. And we need your support. But let me just talk to you about money. And again, it's important you understand about money. For the last 20 odd years, I've been teaching people on wealth and wealth creation. I want to tell you the story behind this. I want you to hear this. Because I was going through a very difficult moment. And I was really, really struggling in my own life. And then I felt impressed to teach people about financial freedom, even though in myself I was struggling at the time. And for the last 20 odd years, I've been on a crusade. People say, oh, Mesiti, the prosperity activist, and they want to poo-poo it and all the trolls do that. Let me just say this. You will never meet a hater doing better than you. So all these trolls out there and all these, sites, don't even read them, don't look at them, don't send me stuff. They're just foolish people that would not even exist without people like me. Because that's all they want to do is just destroy. And you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. Trust me on that. So this coming Saturday, I've got an event called Money, Mind, Mastery. And it's really all about mindset. How is it that a Mike Tyson can earn 400 million in boxing and lose it? How is it that an Elvis Presley, arguably one of the greatest entertainers in the world, died broke before Priscilla took over the estate after he died? Did they have money? Yes. Did they have opportunity? Yes. Did they have gifts? Did they have talents? Yes, they did. But there's something about money. There is more to money than money. Listen to me. Money has a story it tells you. If all there was to money was saving it and getting a paycheck, we'd all be rich, pretty and skinny, right? Obviously, I missed out on a few of those. But there's more to money than money. It really is what got to do with up here. See, money makes a great servant, but a lousy master. Even the master said that we're not to love money. I understand that. So don't go posting on here what the Lord said about the love of money. But let me also say that he said, seek ye first the kingdom, but he didn't say anything about second, third, and fourth. And if you go through the scriptures, which I'm not here to do a preach on this, 2,365 times the good Lord says he wants to bring you increase and prosper you. But we need skill. We need skill. It says he gives you the power to get wealth. And this is not about prosperity gospel or any of that kind of stuff that they throw out there. There's no prosperity gospel. It is a principle. There's 4 gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Listen very carefully, don't get sidetracked. But you need to understand money. You and I would agree that what goes on up here, have a look at what they've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years with our minds and with people that are not awakened in their mind. And we need to be awakened about our finances. In the next few months, I'm going to be interviewing Gerald Salente from the United States. We cannot be subjects to the banksters and the cartels. We need to find our own platform and our own financial freedom. And many of you need a platform. Many of you need a shift around money. Of course, we all do. So on Saturday, I'm hosting a very special event. It's going to be on Saturday morning and Saturday night, just before Father's Day. It's called Money, Mind, Mastery because I want you to understand your mind is a muscle. You need to exercise it. Money makes a great servant, but a lousy master. With our money, sometimes it's a money story that we have up here that stops us from growing. People want a handout mentality rather than going out there and working with a hand and using their skills and abilities that have been given by the Almighty. I want to encourage you to be part of this on Saturday. Already our numbers are through the roof. I'd encourage you to be part of it. Come and just learn. I'm going to be dropping some incredible truth bombs. If you don't want to further your education with us, you don't need to. But just attend and learn. Learn. Listen, let me tell you something. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is broke. Education is not expensive. It is not. Loss is expensive. And we must learn to be people that educate ourselves. They want to keep you in the dark. And that is not good. So come on, folks, join me on Saturday. There's a link here. I'll also make sure there will be a link in the chat. And, we need to start challenging these guys for some of the stuff that they're doing to our community. They think that we are just so blind. I mean, what in the world is Albanese thinking bringing ShAQ? He was not an original custodian of the land. Seriously. And TEALs with investments in all these companies, the hypocrisy boggles the mind. Thanks for listening. Hey, do me a favor. Follow us on our Instagram. You need to go to mesiti.com/links. And please share this. Let people know we've been here and sharing a message. And I look forward to seeing you Saturday. Hey, we'll be doing some other stuff before the end of the week too. God bless everyone. Have a great day.